One simple formula can instantly tell you why your warehouse is slow, even before you visit it. Today we're learning one of the most powerful concepts in supply chain management, Little's Law. It looks like a tiny equation, but don't underestimate it. Let's begin. Imagine you visit two warehouses. Both have exactly the same building size. Both have similar employees. Both receive the same number of customer orders. But here's something strange. Warehouse A ships every order in just 1 day. Warehouse B takes almost 7 days. Now naturally, most people assume Warehouse B has lazy workers or inefficient equipment. But that's completely wrong. The workers are equally productive. Demand is also the same. So what actually causes the difference? That's exactly what Little's Law explains. Here's the famous equation. Work in progress equals throughput multiplied by lead time. Don't worry if these terms sound technical. We'll understand them with a simple warehouse example. Think of WIP as everything currently sitting inside your warehouse. Throughput is how many orders you finish every day. Lead time is simply how long an order stays inside before leaving. These three numbers are always connected. If you know any two, you can calculate the third. That's why this equation is incredibly powerful. Instead of memorizing the formula, let's visualize it. Imagine your warehouse is just like a water tank. Water enters from the top. Water leaves from the bottom. Now imagine the outlet pipe always releases the same amount of water every minute. What happens if you keep pouring more and more water into the tank? The water level rises, and every drop has to wait longer before leaving. Warehouses behave exactly the same way. The more inventory you allow inside, the longer every order has to wait. That's the entire idea behind Little's Law. Now let's go back to our two warehouses. Warehouse A has 4,000 orders inside. It ships 4,000 orders every day. That means every order spends just 1 day inside. Simple. Now look at Warehouse B. 28,000 orders are waiting, but it still ships only 4,000 per day. That means every order now spends 7 days inside. Nothing else changed. The people didn't slow down. The machines didn't become worse. The only difference was the amount of inventory allowed inside. That's why controlling WIP is so important. Now let's make this useful. Managers usually ask only 3 questions. First, how long will my orders take? Second, how much inventory should I allow inside? Third, how much throughput do I need to achieve my delivery promise? Interestingly, Little's Law answers all 3. Instead of remembering different formulas, you only need one equation. Look at this graph. Notice something interesting. It's almost a straight line. As work in progress increases, lead time also increases. This surprises many managers. They think adding more inventory improves efficiency. Actually, beyond a certain point, it does exactly the opposite. More inventory means more waiting, more searching, more congestion, more delays. The fastest warehouses aren't always the busiest. They are usually the ones with the least unnecessary inventory. Let's see how companies use this. Suppose an e-commerce fulfillment center has 18,000 customer orders currently inside. Every day, it ships 12,000 orders. Without timing anything, we already know the average lead time. Just divide inventory by throughput. The answer is 1.5 days. No stopwatch, no complicated software, just one calculation. That's why operations teams love Little's Law. Let's look at a famous example. People often ask, how does Zara launch new fashion so quickly? Many believe they simply manufacture faster. That's only part of the story. The real secret is, they keep very little inventory waiting between processes. Small batches move continuously. Nothing sits idle for weeks. Because WIP stays low, lead time automatically becomes shorter. That's exactly what Little's Law predicts. It's not magic, it's mathematics. One reason I love this equation is because it works everywhere. In warehousing, WIP means orders inside. In manufacturing, it means jobs on the production line. In procurement, it becomes purchase orders waiting for suppliers. In transportation, it becomes trucks waiting inside the yard. Even inventory planners unknowingly use Little's Law every day. Days of supply is simply another application of the same equation. One formula, many industries. Now a small warning. Little's Law is powerful, but only when used correctly. First, your process should be reasonably stable. If demand suddenly doubles during Black Friday, average calculations may become misleading. Second, always use consistent units. Orders with orders. Pallets with pallets. Days with days. Finally, remember that the result is an average. Some orders will always be faster, some slower. Don't confuse averages with guarantees. Let's solve one together. Imagine your returns department has 2,400 products waiting. The team processes 600 returns every day. Management promises customers everything will be completed in 2 days. Can they really keep that promise? Let's calculate. 2,400 divided by 600 equals 4 days. So the promise isn't achievable. How can we fix it? There are only two options. Either increase throughput, or reduce the number of returns waiting inside. That's Little's Law in action. Let's quickly recap. Little's Law is one of the simplest equations in supply chain management. Yet it explains warehouses, factories, procurement, transportation, and inventory planning. Whenever you see long queues, excess inventory, or delayed deliveries, don't immediately blame people. First, calculate the numbers. Many times, the real problem is simply too much work in progress. If you found this video valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Join our membership. You will get to break down supply chain problems and their database solutions with real-world frameworks every week. Till then, keep optimizing. Thanks for watching.